In today's Leeds news, Schmidt leaves Leeds, Brandt's hope fading, Di Gregorio to Leeds, rumour versus reality, Muharemovic arrives for his medical, Leeds open legal proceedings against Leicester, and more new academy deals. Thursday, the 16th of July at the Leeds View. Jer here with your daily Leeds United news. We do these Monday to Friday, as well as a transfer wrap-up at the weekend, and 2 podcasts a week, the second of which you can catch tonight, which will be David Bransby talking about the Elliot James Bransby Memorial Shield, which will take place later this month. All the details on that and the charity assigned to that. Speaking on that as well, we did say we would hold our hands up on the Shay Charles situation, and I'll just put it out like this right now. The information that we've received, at the very minimum, I'm happy to say right now, was inaccurate. He may still end up signing for Leeds United, but the detail that we were given doesn't appear now to be accurate. And as a result, we weren't looking for clicks and we weren't trying to make money off of it. We were trying to share the information with you. So as a result of that, we're going to donate the proceedings and the revenue from that video to the Elliot James Bransby Memorial Shields charity this year, which is the Martin House Children's Hospice. So we'll be donating that money to that because didn't like putting that stuff out at the time. Said it in the video. Want to be accurate, want to be upfront about it. So there you go. He may still end up signing for Leeds, but not within the time frame that we were given, and I want to be as clear as I can about that. Instead of hold my hands up, I have no problem holding my hands up. Let's get into today's news and talk about Isaac Schmidt's exit. Right, so Leeds United have confirmed the permanent departure of Isaac Schmidt to BSC Young Boys in Switzerland. Graham Smyth in the Yorkshire Evening Post this morning had further details on this and has confirmed Leeds will receive a £2 million fee for Isaac Schmidt, which apparently will see Leeds bank a financial break-even or slight profit, but definitely not a financial loss, which is important with the SCR situation. Leeds paid £2.5 million for Isaac Schmidt back in 2024. Considering his book value now, the payments they would have made, right now it seems that Leeds will at some point at least break even on the Isaac Schmidt contract. Didn't really work out for Isaac Schmidt at Leeds United, which was a bit of a shame. He came in very last minute as covering that right back position. Didn't really ever play there. Played left side midfield for Leeds. Played right side midfield at times in the Championship. And never really let us down when he did play for us. But we did get to see him last summer playing in his natural right back position. I think we all saw back then Leeds needed probably something better, and Leeds went out and signed James Justin instead, right and left back for Isaac Schmidt. He went off to Werder Bremen. That loan wasn't exactly a huge success. He did play some football, did score a goal, but didn't secure a permanent move to the Bundesliga. And now he exits Leeds and will head back to his home country, where he'll sign for Young Boys, or has signed for Young Boys. He'll even get some European football, so hasn't worked out too badly for Isaac Schmidt. There's a really nice and warm goodbye message to Isaac Schmidt on the Leeds United official website that's worth checking out, and he leaves the club with everyone's best wishes and thanks for what he did during the Championship promotion campaign. So best of luck to Isaac Schmidt. Let's talk about Julian Brandt, some update on that one. So it's gone incredibly quiet on the Julian Brandt situation, and that usually means that Leeds United are about to announce the signing of the player, but in this situation it does look like it will be the opposite in this case. There's been a bit of talk about this in the German media over the last couple of days, and we said we'd try and get an update for you and give you the detail that's out. That there's 2 sides to this. One is coming from the Dortmund side and one is coming from an independent media outlet in Germany. And speaking to Sky Deutschland's Auf Süd podcast, prominent German journalist Patrick Berger says that there is now feeling and sentiment in Dortmund that they made a massive mistake in allowing Julian Brandt to leave the club on a free transfer, and may even be exploring trying to get him to come back to the club and sign a deal, as they're finding it very difficult to find an affordable replacement for him. From the Leeds side of this, it's probably less encouraging, to be completely honest about it. GRV Media reporting that while Daniel Farke still remains highly keen on bringing Julian Brandt to Leeds United and exploring a move, no concrete talks have been held between the players' representatives and Leeds. And more significantly, Brandt's representatives have held talks with clubs in Italy and in Spain. The honest assessment in this is Julian Brandt would much prefer a move to Italy or Spain. His agent is Italian. His partner has a place in Spain. And according to the different reports on this, the Premier League is not believed to be a move that he is looking for, at least right now. Now, obviously, situations can change over the course of a summer transfer window. This time last year, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was being linked with Manchester United, with Newcastle, with clubs in in Europe, and he eventually ended up coming to Leeds. And free agents can take their time with this and just wait out the situation to see what is the best move. And if he doesn't get an offer to go to European clubs, then you never know, he might end up with Leeds United. And whether it's his first choice, second choice, or third choice, if he did end up in a Leeds shirt, it would be a hell of a signing for Leeds to get. But right now, it does look like any hope that Leeds had of signing Julian Brandt is fading. And at the very minimum, Leeds are going to have to move on and start looking at other targets right now. Move on. So a new goalkeeping link emerged from the Italian media last night, and there's been lots of back and forth with different journalists in Italy about this. The report basically stated that Leeds United were very interested in Juventus goalkeeper Michele Di Gregorio, who plays for Juventus. But it changed pretty quick, and then it changed back, then it changed again. So I'll give you the blow-by-blow on this. First talk about this came from Juventus France, who posted a post yesterday citing journalist Giovanni Albanese that Leeds United were interested in Di Gregorio. However, even that initial tweet did have a bit of a caveat in it, where Di Gregorio himself is believed to want to stay at Juventus this season, establish himself as number 2 and compete for that number 1 position going into next season. Now, another report then came out saying that despite the rumours, Di Gregorio to Leeds United was not happening, that there were no talks that were ongoing, and no offer had gone in. Now, then you start to look a bit deeper and look at the different outlets, and it's been hit and miss in Italy this summer. I've got Andrea Russo in my ear telling me don't, believe the Italian journalists after what happened with Muharemovic. But if you look at the Gazzetta dello Sport on this, they've said that Leeds United are interested in the goalkeeper. Tutto Sport have said that I've gone a bit further and said that a move for Di Gregorio would depend on dominoes falling, which would mean Lucas Perry moving to Torino, and then Leeds would move for Di Gregorio. There are other reports that say Leeds have made timid inquiries about the possibility of signing Di Gregorio. And he played football for Juventus last season. He's not believed to be first choice this season, but not a bad goalkeeper, Di Gregorio. Would be an interesting one for Leeds to move for. He would definitely be cheaper, you would imagine, than a Suzuki. Although, again, speaking yesterday on Joe Blackburn's channel, there's mixed reports on that. The Newcastle side of rumours are saying that they believe they can get Suzuki for £17 million, where the Leeds side and rumours are saying anything up to 40 million, which is a massive gap when it comes to evaluation of a player. And again, none of it's really been picked up by the local UK media. And until that happens, the deal with pinches of salt. So yeah, we'll find out with this one. But I would say right now, this is one to park in the rumour mill territory for right now. See if it develops to anything else over the course of the summer. But it is an easy one to link. If Leeds goalkeeper has been linked with a move to an Italian side, then the obvious connection is Leeds need a goalkeeper, and you can start linking goalkeepers who may potentially be moving from clubs in Italy this year. So we'll see where that one goes. Let's talk about Tarik Muharemovic. So the 49ers Enterprise's most expensive signing at Leeds has arrived this morning to complete his medical paperwork and his media duties, and could possibly even be unveiled as a Leeds United player later on tonight or possibly tomorrow. And Leeds do like a 7 p.m. or 7:45 p.m. announcement or information going out to the press at that time, if you look at the pattern over the last couple of summers. Graham Smith of the Yorkshire Evening Post this morning confirmed the details on this. Muharemovic flew into Leeds Bradford Airport to complete his medical, to sign his paperwork. Personal terms have all been agreed on a £34 million move. So all he has to do is pass his medical, sign his contract, and get his photographs taken, and we'll hopefully see Leeds United's second signing, and a significant one in terms of spend and expectation. There's a lot of excitement around Tarik Muharemovic. It'd be interesting to see what squad number he picks up as well. Does he just grab Pascal Strauch's number 5, or was Jacobi all going to fight him for that? It'd be interesting to see what else Leeds do. There's a lot of other centre-backs being linked with Leeds at the moment, so very expensive ones. It seems unlikely that Leeds will move for any other expensive centre-half, considering the money they just spent on Muharemovic and what they've got in Joe Rodon and Jacobi. But again, need to see what Sebastian Bornau's summer looks like right now. But there we go. Tarik Muharemovic, Leeds' second signing of the summer. Looks like he's about to be done and dusted, could be announced later on tonight or possibly into tomorrow. Right, let's move on and talk about legal proceedings. Sexy legal stories now, and Leeds United have opened legal proceedings against Leicester City over their PSR breach during the 2023-2024 season. That's the one where they got promoted to the Premier League and we didn't. The Athletic have reported last night, and there's more detail on it again this morning. They say that a statement claim has been served against Leicester City outlining why action is being taken by Leeds United. Leeds have included specified financial losses in their claim, and they're requesting an assessment of damages to move forward. A hearing on this one is expected to take place next summer, but there is a bit more to this. As we know, Leicester City got docked 6 points last season when they returned to the Championship after playing a bit of legal loophole games with the Premier League and the Championship, arguing that they were outside of both jurisdictions during the time of the accounts being submitted. So therefore, neither Premier League nor Championship could actually, or EFL could actually go after them for a breach. That didn't work out in the long term, and they got hit with a 6-point penalty when they arrived back in the Championship. But Leeds are arguing that that breach did contribute to their promotion to the Premier League. Leeds believe that the breach materially affected their chances of getting promoted to the Premier League and have served a statement of claim outlining their losses. So why have Leeds decided to do this now? This action has been taken off the back of the landmark ruling when Burnley sued Everton for their financial fair play breach during PSR. That resulted in Burnley's relegation from the Premier League and Everton staying in the Premier League. Now, Premier League panel at the time, a couple of months ago, I think now, basically said that Everton have to pay £35 million to Burnley and found them guilty of that financial breach, which did impact Burnley's survival chances and led to their relegation to the Championship. The verdict opened the door for other clubs to step in, and Leeds United have walked straight through that door and have served legal proceedings against Leicester City. Now, should be pointed out at this moment in time, Everton are appealing that decision and the severity of that decision. That would likely happen with Leeds' situation as well. I mean, if Everton win that case, then this one goes into the mud. But if Leeds were to win this case next summer, Leicester would likely appeal it and it would then rumble on a bit longer. So any money Leeds are hoping to get from this won't be this summer, probably won't be next summer. Could be a few years away before they ever see a penny of that. But there you go. That's where we are right now on that. Let's finish up today and talk about some new academy deals. Leeds are dishing out academy contracts this summer and 2 more pro deals to announce. First one is Freddie Lane. Versatile fullback, can also play in midfield, can operate on either flank. Had a good season last year once he came back from injury. Played 10 times for Scott Gardner's side last year after returning from injury. Also took part in Leeds' European action against Anderlecht and scored his first goal at this level against Chelsea. He has signed a 1-year contract at the club that will keep him here until the end of the 26-27 season. I'm delighted for Freddie Lane. Interesting to see how he gets on next season. Fingers crossed he can get a full season under his belt and show what he is capable of doing. But well done to Freddie. Another one that's signed on is Darryll Ombang. Darryll Ombang, 21-year-old goalkeeper, has signed a 1-year renewal to his Leeds United deal. He made 10 appearances for the Leeds United under-21s last season. He went out on loan twice last year, once to Doncaster where he made 4 appearances, and then he also spent the back end of the season on loan at FC United of Manchester where he helped them to get into the Northern Premier League playoffs. Darryll is the most senior of the under-21s that has been issued a renewal to his contract. At this moment in time, there's plenty of goalkeepers vying for that under-21 spot, but he is a senior goalkeeper at that level. Experience, and Leeds might need to use him depending on what they decide to do with the other goalkeepers that they've got knocking around the 18s and under-21s. Obviously, Rory Mahadi started last season as Leeds United's under-21 number 1. He went out on loan to Scunthorpe. It'd be interesting to see if Mahadi goes out on loan again this season, in which case Darryll Ombang could be Leeds number 1 for the year. You've obviously got Robbie Cook, under-18s goalkeeper, knocking around there and was involved with the under-21s towards the back end of last season as well. And you've got Oliver Wood, who signed his new deal at the club as well, an under-18 goalkeeper. So there's a few knocking around. There's some good young goalkeepers there. Leeds obviously keeping their options very firmly open. Darryll had a very good second half of season loan at FC United of Manchester. So big congratulations to Darryll Ombang and to Freddie Lane on signing their new deals. Folks, that will be it for me today. You can check out the podcast tonight with David Bransby as we talk about the Elliot James Bransby Memorial Shield, which will see some Leeds legends and some celebrities, as well as loads of raffles prizes on the day up for grabs. You can check that out later on with all the details if you want to, or check out our social media accounts later on this evening once that goes out, and you get all the detail if you want to donate to that charity, which we will be doing, as well as going down to the John Charles Stadium for sport and attending the game. £5 for adults, free for kids. Great day out, worth checking out. I'll talk to you soon. See you later. Bye.